Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 261 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. It's Technique Tuesday, and today we'll be discussing the long pimple chop block. In the questions, we'll talk about whether the level of table tennis is increasing, how Shiwen counters slow spinny topspin with ease, and switching from pen hold to shake hand, and how Fukuhara's grip is for serving. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. And yes, got a good show coming up, I hope.
Oh, of course, it's always a good show, Alois. Because we
That's
have
right.
brilliant...
Any show is a good show.
Absolutely, because we have lots of good questions from our audience. But first, Alois, I want to talk about the PingSkills question of the day from yesterday, which was, what is the longest break you have had from table tennis? What did people say?
Yes. So not much about that, actually.
Okay, not a popular question then.
No. But on the blog, there were a couple of little comments, if I can find it again. Yes. So Marson said, I had 22 years break from table tennis. So that is a long time. And Arjun said, I played table tennis when I was 13 years old and came back to the sport aged 23. So we do get a little bit of that on the site. We often get players who say, you know, I used to play when I was young, but then I ran out of time, didn't have things to had too many things to do, and then came back to table tennis a little bit later when life's a little bit more settled. So it's a good time to come back.
Yeah, certainly is. Certainly is. And like you said, plenty of people are in that boat.
Yeah. We also asked about should we continue with the on this day? And Dita said, not for me. Number facts, kind of funny. Dita, you okay? Number facts. I like the PingSkills question of the day in your daily theme, though. He likes those. But he also likes number facts. So I think
bring back the number.
Your opinion. I think, Dita, your opinion is no longer required.
Awesome. All right. Next show, number facts. Got it. Everyone loves it. Good one. All right. Well, today's PingSkills question of the day is sure to get people talking. It is, should Fan Zhendong be playing at the Olympics? So jump onto our Facebook page. Leave a comment or onto our blog at pingskills.com. We want to know, do you think Fan Zhendong should be playing at the Olympics? All righty. Now, because it is Tuesday, Alois, we're going to be discussing some techniques. And today we want to talk about the long pimple chop block. What do people need to know about this shot?
Well, firstly, you need a sheet of long pimples. That would always be useful when you're trying to do the long pimple chop block. So what it is, and you'll see that players use this quite a lot when they utilize long pimples. So if their opponent top spins to them, then they're going to just come down on the ball. So it's like a short chopping action, but it's very close to the table, off the bounce, and then coming down on the ball that way. So what that is doing is, first, it's keeping the ball rotating in the direction it was going through. So if it's coming to you in this direction and you chop block down, so the ball's spinning in the same direction, so it's going back with backspin to you. Now, it's a shot because the long pimples absorbs the speed of the ball. So it's really difficult to do a chop block with inverted rubber, trying to come down on that, because the ball will tend to bounce off too quickly. Whereas with the long pimples, you can come down on the ball and utilize that chop block. As I said, really effective shot if you are utilizing long pimples. Give it a try and really try to utilize it a lot in your game.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. If you're using the long pimples, Alois, and someone does topspin into you, is this kind of like the first option, or is there a different shot that you'd need to know as well?
I reckon it's the first option. It's almost the easiest option to start off with. You're just putting your bat at the ball and blocking it back basically. But by coming down on the ball, it makes it a little bit easier to control. If you just push your bat at the ball will tend to float and go into the net a bit more. So yeah, so I think the chop block is a really easy way to start to utilize your long pimples on the backhand side especially.
Okay, excellent. Now, we do have a video on this shot, so I'll put a link to it in the show notes. If you're using long pimples, definitely take a look at that. And if you would like to see more, long pimple or short pimple, just different type of rubber videos about how to use them, just let us know. Put a note in the comments of our blog. Love to hear from you. Alrighty, Alois, this brings us on to the questions, and we have Victory is back. He says to us, welcome back, Jeff and Alois. I've missed you. It feels like you've been away for a year. Well, thanks for those kind comments. And he has a question for us too. He says, is it me, or has the world of table tennis increased and improved while you have been gone? I've been watching a lot lately, and I see many young talents that I haven't seen before who play nearly as good as the top 5 in the world. Am I right, or is it just me?
Yeah, there are a lot of young players coming through, but I think those top 4 or 5 are still ahead of the rest. Those Chinese guys are they're just clear cut. They just don't lose too often to anyone below them. So maybe the gap's closing a little bit, but those guys for me still up there. It's going to be between them for the next year, I'd say. Yeah,
certainly is. And it seems like the only ones that come through to challenge those top 4 are more Chinese players. But to his point, there does also seem to be a lot of young players coming through. Like, we've had Mima Ito, and then who was that guy that won the under 21s at the Japan Open? So young.
Oh, Harry Moto. Unbelievable. 12 years old, won the under 21s at the Japan Open. He's good. But he's fantastic, and give him another 2 or 3 years, when he's 14. And he maybe can start to challenge those guys, but yeah, not just yet.
Yes, interesting. All right. Well, thanks for the question, Victory. Now, the next question is from Yap, who says, how can Liu Shiwen control the huge amount of topspin by the slow spinny forehand loop of Fukuhara and hit the ball so flat that it is like a smash?
Yeah, it's actually doing is she isn't really smashing it, and she isn't really hitting the ball that flat. It sort of looks like that, doesn't it? Because she's just like going crack. But she's actually just gripping the ball and really top spinning that ball hard back at Fukuhara. So Liu Shiwen, yeah, very nice ability close to the table. So she's really fast, and she just puts a little bit of top spin on the ball all the time from close to the table, which gets the ball to dip back down quickly onto the table, onto her opponent's side. So it looks like a smash, but it's not. It's a very, very fast top spin where she's really brushing over that ball on both the forehand and the backhand side. And that's a really important point. We often see and have players ask us about, how can I smash the ball like them? There's very few shots by the top professionals that are smashes. Basically, all of their shots have got a lot of topspin on them. The only time they will smash the ball is if the ball's up around shoulder height or higher. Then they'll think about. But the rest of the time, it's always topspin. And even those balls that are a little bit higher, most of the time they're still top spinning them as well. So yeah, just really watch carefully what those guys are doing and think about topspin, not smashing.
Yeah, good point, Alois. I guess with those slow spinny loops, if they do go up really high, you might be able to smash them. But as you said, most of the players are top spinning them back. And I think that's one area of the game that's changed a lot in, say, the last 10 years. You probably used to see more players just blocking those top spin balls back, just gently blocking them back. But now all the top players are really more aggressive on returning those. And like you said, they'll be putting their own top spin on it, both on the backhand and the forehand, a lot more than, say, they would have 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. So when you start to get that aggressive with it, you just have to have topspin. Otherwise, the ball can't go on the table consistently. So the topspin is what drags the ball down. Yeah, really, really important.
Yeah. So then if you're just an aspiring club player, how do you know how to play? Should you be trying to block a lot of balls, or should you be working on trying to develop some counter top spins? And how do you sort of progress along that path?
Yeah. So for me, the first thing is get the block happening. Control the ball first. If you then feel really comfortable with the block, then you can start to add a little bit of topspin on your block. Okay, and then by adding a little bit of topspin, you'll start to see the ball go a bit faster. And then the better and better you get, you can add more topspin. But to do that, you need time. You need time and the ability to see that ball early enough. If you're not seeing the ball early enough, you haven't got time to be doing that. And then that's why it's important to just start by blocking the ball back, control it first, and then as you start to see that ball a little bit earlier, then you can start to add a little bit of top on it too.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I guess that's a consistent theme, work on your consistency first, and then you can start increasing the pace. Excellent. All righty. The next question is from Nick, who says, I have been a penhold player for 30 years. However, I've been experiencing some pain in my hand and I would like to switch from penhold to shakehand. I know that I would need to change blades. What would your recommendation be for the shakehand racket?
Here it is. Yeah, something like the ping. That's right. Something like the PingSkills Rook that's not going to be too fast to start off with. Still make sure you got a bit of sponge underneath it, still got good grip on the surface, a blade that's not too fast. Just something like that is going to allow you plenty of control to learn your strokes again. Then once you get comfortable with the shakehand grip, then you can increase the equipment or the speed of the equipment that you're using. So, but first up, get something controlled. PingSkills Rook, something along those lines.
Excellent. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Good luck with the switch, Nick. 30 years playing penhold. It's going to be an interesting change. I hope it works out well for you. All right. Next up is a question from Michael, who said, I looked at Fukuhara's serves for guidance. I realized, but I may be incorrect, that she keeps all of the fingers on the bat during the duration of the serve. Isn't it more effective to only use the thumb and index finger when serving?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. So looking at Fukuhara serves, it's always difficult to tell exactly, but it does look like she does release a little bit. So she might be just loosening off the grip there, which allows her to do that serve. So in that, he was talking about the high toss serve that Fukuhara does. So he was focused on that. And yeah, if you watch, like, it looks like there's a lot of finger on the handle, but there is a loosening of the grip to allow her to still utilize that wrist really fully when she's doing the serve.
Interesting. And again, so for people just trying to learn the serve, what would you recommend with the grip, especially if you're talking about the pendulum serve?
Yeah, so with the pendulum serve, you do need to release these fingers here. So if you've got a solid or strong grip on the racket, then basically then you're utilizing your wrist in this motion. When you take those fingers off, then you can use your wrist in a fuller motion and up and down rather than side to side, so which is a bigger range of motion. So that's why with the pendulum grip, we take these 3 fingers away or just really loosen them off so that then you can start to utilize your wrist in a full-on motion to generate more spin.
Excellent. All right, that sounds good. And if anyone is looking to improve their service, check out our Serving Secrets course available for premium members, and you can find out all about that on the PingSkills website. So go to pingskills.com. All right, and then lastly, Victory's jumped on again and asked another question. He goes, were you surprised that Zhu Xin beat Ma Long in the Japan Open?
I certainly was. Ma Long just doesn't lose to too many people, and Zhu Xin, on the other hand, really hasn't had a lot of great results against the other Chinese players. I think that the Chinese players are a little bit too strong with 2 wings. But Zhu Xin had a good day, which is and Ma Long is probably very focused on the Olympics coming up. And the singles event at the Olympics. So maybe this is just a little bit of the lull period. He's probably in full training and will now start to decrease his training a little bit coming into the Olympics. So, yeah. So it's not a result that is totally surprising, I suppose. But, anytime Ma Long loses, for me, is a surprise because he is just so good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He certainly is. Great to watch Ma Long. All right, Alois, that wraps up show 261. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure you check out pingskills.com. Sign up for our free newsletter if you haven't. Lots of great information there to help you improve your table tennis. And thank you, Alois.
Yep, thanks, Jeff, and thanks, viewers. And we shall see you tomorrow. Yes, we're on a roll.
We are indeed. All right. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.